Namaste. This is the first time I am doing this. I am inviting you to follow this little new journey that I'm trying to take and possibly share with other people. I am calling this experience Diary of an Imperfect Yogi, that somehow summarize a little bit what I am and who I am in some ways. And I thought, what a better place to record this than a cave, where traditionally, or at least as an imaginary vision, or my vision of a proper yogi, retiring, retrieving, escaping maybe from normal people, common people, as the Hatha Yoga Pradipika advise the yogi avoid the company of common people. And that's one of the things that makes me an imperfect yogi, I guess. The choices and the decisions and the compromises that living a household life will obviously create, and at the same time balancing that with trying to living a yogic life, an authentic yogic life. And that's one of the main challenges, if not the main challenge, to be authentic in both ways. Be respectful of the choices you've done, being mindful of the association you're taking, and you're living, family, students, if you teach, but community, anyone that you're sharing your life with. And at the same time, trying to simultaneously living an introspective life in which you're learning or you're trying to understand, explore, hopefully realize your true nature, the real essence of your being. So in this video podcast, or whatever is going to be called, I am trying to bring light towards it, or at least my experience. And maybe, hopefully, that's valuable to somebody else. Might inspire others, might not. Might create questions. Questions are great. Curiosity is great. And maybe I will be able to share in different ways and hear response from other people. So yeah, I'd love to explore into these diaries. Some of them will be rants, I am aware of. Some will be highly loaded with the frustration that some of the choices that I've done or I'm doing are creating. And some hopefully will be educational, and that's in some ways one of the main goals that I have as someone that practiced yoga and decided to share it, decide to share his own experience and the little realizations and experiments that maybe for me were successful. So this session itself will not have necessarily content in that way, but would rather be an introductory to the intention of it. But I will explore more and more into content as well. Maybe where yoga is at, the understanding of the Western society in relationship to such an ancient Eastern philosophical tradition, spiritual tradition, the difficulty of balancing spiritual practice and maybe living at the same time a materialistic life, consumistic, even if though you might not agree, you still live in the society, you still go to the supermarkets and feed yourself. So those are some of the aspects that I would like to cover. Some are maybe a little bit more in depth with the practice in itself. So I'd love to explore a little bit more of some other depth. But yeah, that's a little bit how I'd like to start with. And always paying, honoring the tradition and, the people that have walked this path prior to me. I know I am in a cave in Australia, in Sydney, I guess. And this is a path that's been walked in different ways. But, traditionally, maybe from the Indian subcontinent. But yeah, I'm sure there are many, many common grounds that can be evaluated and explored. But I thought nature is always the common denominator. And yes, so welcome to this first introduction, and I will follow up. So hopefully that makes any sense. I don't know if it does, but hopefully it does. But thank you for listening and watching. Namaste.